character problems.
Seriously. Greetings and welcome to the first episode of the Crush Your Goals film canon. Okay, guys, so this is going to be a new show. Hopefully, this is going to be a test run of sorts. This is a trial and error. If it sucks, I'm sorry. It's all secondhand information, maybe even third-hand information from a guy trying to make a movie and one of his best friends because he said, fucking do it. So with that, I am Chris Yates. This is
Jake Frazier, Coach
and
Frazier.
what the show is going to be about, or at least the Thursday episode is going to be about movie news and things like that. Not necessarily like TV or anything like that, just basic film. Because I've gotten questions and I've gotten comments of people saying, "Hey, we want to see more shows of you one-on-one doing what you like." So this is it. Since I'm an aspiring filmmaker,
Absolutely.
I figured might as well talk about films.
Heck yeah.
In a way, so, but it's that catch-22.
Our favorite type of films.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. You know, it's a podcast no one asked for about people talking about shit they like. So, with that, we'll start off with the movie news and start off, Jake.
Hellboy 3. So when I first heard that they went into talks about a Hellboy 3, I'm pretty sure I passed out and fainted. I love the Hellboy series. Love the comics. I love the art of the comics, but how they brought Hellboy to the movies. Ron Perlman does a great job. It's probably, I think, one of the closest to being accurate to the comic books.
Oh, absolutely.
As possible as any superhero comic book movie could be.
Well, what other actor you think? You know what I mean? Like, who else could portray Hellboy unless they revamped it into like a newer person?
Yeah,
you know what
I mean that's the thing. Ron Perlman plays such a good like anti-hero. If you look at Sons of Anarchy,
yeah,
he was a bad guy, but he was also the anti-hero. Like he plays such a good. He's so good at that I don't know why anybody else would ever want to try and play Hellboy. And then the rest of the cast, I can't even remember half their names because I put it in the back of my mind so long that there wasn't going to be a Hellboy 3, but they all complement each other. Like it's not like, you know, in some of the earlier superhero movies, you definitely saw there was some, not tension, but I'd say like discourse between some of the actors. Like they worked well together, but they were working well because it was going to be a big movie. This one, it seems like they're all like, yeah, if there's a Hellboy 3, we're in. Like,
well, because I think it's because it's Guillermo, because he has such a vision, and I think with how films are done, you know, I mean, if you find a director that's such a visionary, and he knows exactly what if he has the film in his head, and he knows exactly what he wants to see, you know what I mean, if he has a direct heading. Because from what I've gotten and what I've learned and what I've just myself, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's just a crapshoot. Like even then, like people are like, so about your film, like what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I have this, and this, and it's like, well, what about the in between? And I'm like, fuck. So
and it's sad that you say that because me just finding this out recently, as of like 5 minutes ago, that GDT is not going to be 100% doing the sequel. Makes me sad because he did so well with the first two. I mean, the first one was gritty. It was a dark version of a lot of fantasy stuff that a lot of people think of. If you really look at it, like a lot of it is historical lore.
Yeah.
And then the second one was just beautifully done. I mean, the makeup, everything put into that movie, the Golden Army was beautifully done.
Yeah.
So it saddens me that he doesn't want to do it, but I think at this point, if we just get a Hellboy 3, I think I'll take anything.
Here's like, you know, here's like the catch, right? Is because I was literally rewatching Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2, the behind the scenes stuff, you know, being super nerdy and dorky.
Of course.
And they basically, Mike said, you know, hey, it's your movie. I'll be here. Like, if you want me to be a part of this process of developing these characters, developing this, let's do it, but it's your version of it.
Absolutely.
So here's the only thing that's going to suck is because Hellboy 3 is that he wanted to do Hellboy with the kids.
Yeah.
He wanted to have twins, Selma Blair and Doug Jones, Abe Sapien and Liz. Those are the characters.
That's it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you do, like, the next one, he wants to be same budget, same big thing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to have the kids. And then he wanted Hellboy to have the full circle. He wanted him to basically become the devil or, you know, the king of hell or whatever.
Yeah.
Even then in the comics, he's like, it's in that weird space dimension, but it's considered hell. But it's not hell.
Yeah.
In, like, Christian terminologies, I think.
Yeah, it's
So
it's like it's a lot more complicated in the comics, but they've done a really good job through the first two movies keeping it accurate enough to where we can understand it for the people. Because before the first Hellboy movie, I didn't even know there were comics. That's the thing. Like it was basically like, oh, this is a cool movie. How did the people come up with this? And then like later on, I found out it's like, oh, there's like a ton of comic books and literature on this like on this one character. Even on just like the what is it, the BPRD.
BPRD,
yeah, like they don't even focus on Hellboy. They focus on Abe Sapien. They focus on.
I think there might be. I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think there's more volumes and like pages for the BPRD than there is Hellboy, or at least because there's like the omnibus volumes are like that thick.
Yeah.
And Hellboy's is more like German expressionism. You know what I mean? It's not completely always full of paneling and stuff like that. So it's like there's just more content in those stories besides like the lore of Hellboy,
So I think what they did do with Hellboy 3D without GDT. Good lord, that's hard to say fast.
Yeah,
I mean, his full name's hard to say just to begin with.
Right.
I think they have enough literature that.
Oh yeah, they can easily do it, but it's just that it's gonna hurt fanboys because they're gonna want to see that full circle.
Oh yeah, the trilogy. You want to get all three done before some group redoes it.
Either someone redoes it or passes away, because literally what they could do, and it's kind of like along terms of the Batman, like it's like, why is Batman like this multi-$100 million? Screw that, like cut it down, make it small, make it like a gritty, nasty like noir thing. Same thing with Hellboy, make it a noir. Like I have books that aren't even comics, that are novels, and there's one called Emerald Hell, and he literally goes like Louisiana and does like a ghost story and has to deal with rednecks and hillbillies that could probably be done for like 50 mil. So imagine Ron Perlman in the swamp. Granted, different context of how they actually film it, but just the idea of like you're filming in a swamp dealing with ghosts and hillbillies and like swamp people. That's in that realm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do that for cheap. So
absolutely.
So next one was the Wonder Woman news for DC. IGN reports Wonder Woman has reportedly found its Ares in Harry Potter star David Thewlis. And multiple sources have told the outlet that Thewlis, best known for his role as Professor Lupin, will be cast as Ares. Ares will be reportedly portrayed through a blend of practical effects and CGI. Wonder Woman will be released on June 2nd.
I'm so pumped that they chose Ares. I think if they would have chosen, I mean, that's the best character for, especially since it's being set in World War I?
Yes.
World War I?
Yes.
There's no better setting. Ares is the god of war, for those who don't know, who didn't go to, fifth
school
grade.
Or saw Hercules.
Ares, right? Ares is the god of war. So I really think it's going to be really hard for them to mess Wonder Woman up. With the cast they have. I mean, he's a fantastic actor.
Oh, he's great. And I agree with you totally. It looks fantastic. It looks like a female Indiana Jones movie. You know what I mean? It looks good. The trailers look good, but here's my question. Even though he's a CGI character and he's blending, isn't this coming a little close? You know what I mean? Like if it's a CGI, granted there's probably an actor who did the motion capture, right?
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily do it. So then are they going to go put him in a booth and do his facial recognition and then do his voiceover? You know what I mean? Like how are they going to blend that together?
What if, in my mind, I feel like they had him in mind and he was chosen a long time ago.
And they just finally dotted the I's, crossed the T's.
Yeah, they finally just said, hey, this is the guy we chose for this character. I mean, I hope that's what they did, because it is June 2nd. It is right around the corner. Like, that's 4 months away.
Yeah. And movies take a shitload of time, especially visual effects and everything like that.
So, I mean, I think they probably did have someone stand in if it was like they're just looking for the voice and they're just looking for a face.
Right.
But at the same time, in like the comics and the animated series and stuff, you do see Ares not in his war form. You see him
that's true.
You see him walking around at these big galas and balls. Like there's that in the trailer, you see her at a ball or something. At a big this big party. He would definitely be there. Like he would definitely be there because he's trying to stoke the flames of war. So I'm really excited for Wonder Woman because I'm hoping it turns everybody's ideas of the DC universe and it makes it more positive light. Because right now I like all the DC movies just because if I had to choose between the two, Marvel or DC, it's DC for me.
Right.
But like, Batman vs Superman was good after it came out. Yeah, after
in its own right. Yeah.
After it came out of theaters, though, when you could see the full extended.
Yeah, the 3-hour one was better.
Yeah,
it's still like I know it was like a disappointment for some.
I mean, the solo Superman movie.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel.
That was my personal favorite. I like that one.
I enjoyed that one. I think they had the right idea, and then people just got too nitpicky.
Well, and that was the thing is like that's not my Superman. Well, to me, that is my Superman because like I got back into the comics and all the thing. When New 52 relaunched and Marvel Now relaunched and they basically relaunched like, you know, the MCU and the DCEU or whatever, Henry Cavill's my Superman, not Christopher Reeves. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like...
Absolutely.
To me, that's like... First of all, that's like the best Dragon Ball Z movie never made. And, you know what I mean? And it's like, he is Superman to me. Like the way... Like, yeah, I know he's not like, come on, guys, let's go save the planet. You know what I mean?
He's a realistic Superman.
Yeah. He's not a complete Boy Scout.
Which that brings me to Batman and Wonder Woman. They showed Wonder Woman Gal Gadot. She's Israeli. She's from Israel. She served in, I believe she served in the army in Israel. Military forces. So they chose a woman from the Mediterranean to play a Mediterranean character. That's Wonder Woman. Yeah. I mean, Greece is Mediterranean. And that's what Wonder Woman's based off of. They're the Amazons. Mm-hmm. So that makes me happy. Batman, I think this is the most realistic Batman you can get. Even though in the comic books he doesn't kill, he doesn't want to kill. Mm-hmm. But in a real world situation, if you punch someone hard enough, they're going to die. You know, and that's what I think this Batman is. Yeah. And I love when people say, oh, well, you know, the other Batmans didn't kill in the movies and all this stuff. And it's like, I think it was, oh gosh, who was it? It was the one with when Danny DeVito was the Penguin.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Batman Returns.
He throws a guy down a well and throws a grenade after him. Like that's the crazy thing. So people make that argument, and I'm like, no, like you're wrong. Like the movies have never been comic accurate.
It's just blatant. It's just blatant in your face, and it's a different style, and people are like, you know,
they don't like it.
It's been
But I'm excited. I'm excited for the Wonder Woman movie. I think it's gonna be really. I think it was casted. It's being casted correctly. Yeah. I think Chris Pine's gonna do a great job. Gal Gadot's gonna do a great job. David Thewlis and Harry Potter guy. Yeah. He's gonna do a great job. So I'm not. I think the only way it's gonna get messed up is on the cutting room floor. I think they're gonna cut the wrong stuff, and then it's gonna be like, well.
Well, then that's a perfect example. Like David Ayer, he said like, you know, Suicide Squad, he filmed it wrong or this, that, and the other. But I guarantee you, there's probably a version of that film that's like 3 hours long. That probably is a lot more. I don't want to say better, but probably a lot more clear in its details. You know what I mean? Instead of just like with leaps of faith and just jumping to things. And so DC is known for cutting shit, or at least it's been publicized that they cut shit. You know what I mean?
And I think the other problem they have is that they're choosing the wrong villains to focus on. At least, you know, I think General Zod was a great choice. That really showed Superman's character.
Well, yeah, Michael Shannon.
The Batman solo movie. Deathstroke's going to be a really good, because Deathstroke is like one of the only characters that Batman doesn't beat all the time. Like if you look in the comics, it's Deathstroke is like the one strategician that doesn't, you know, get beat by Superman like that. Like it's an actual fight. So I think that's going to be a fantastic movie. I think they should have Lex Luthor.
They put too much into BVS, and so it's just, and that's the thing is because
I think they shouldn't had Doomsday. Truthfully,
well, here's my one thing, right? If it's not the Man of Steel sequel per se, if it's not Man of Steel 2, like if it was Man of Steel 2 that became BVS. You know what I mean? If it was like, this is a direct seat, or if it's like, no, it's its own thing. Okay, if it's its own thing, who's it following? That's the reason why I don't think it succeeded to the extent that it did. Because whose story are we trying to tell? Are we trying to tell Batman's, or are we trying to tell Superman's? Because the reason why I think it fails is because we don't see that character's arc. We don't see that. We don't follow that character. We don't care. The reason why is because, Batman was good in what he did is because he's this brute. He just fucking destroys shit. But at the same time, people they didn't become attached to him because he killed. You know, or they, you know what I mean? I mean, he was such a departed thing.
I think what they realistically should have done, and it goes along with Wonder Woman. They should have done Wonder Woman first. They should have done solo Batman first. Then they should have done Batman versus Superman with Wonder Woman being the neutral party. And I think that way everybody would have been fully invested in Batman
Yeah, but then
Superman, because it'd be like the superhuman versus the genius, billionaire, playboy human going at it, you know, like that would have really, everybody would have been like, what's going to happen with this movie? Is it going to go, you know, take a dark turn on us? Is it going to really go into Justice League? And then they should have done it how they did it, gone into Justice League, and then boom.
No, absolutely.
You know, you have the full universe, and then
yeah, I'm not shitting on BVS because I know people get like, oh, this it's like such a divisive universe.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. I just want to be more invested in the characters. That's all.
Yeah, see,
that's all. That's all.
That's why I think after Wonder Woman, what people think what people think of DCEU, they're gonna like it better because you're gonna be more invested in this character portrayed by Gal Gadot. So.
Well, and then right now there's only Wonder Woman, Justice League 1, and Aquaman. Those are the only movies technically on the docket.
Yeah.
Justice League 2 is not on the docket as of right now. Like those
Flash was brought up, but it's not.
It's not like officially in production is Wonder Woman, Justice League, and Aquaman. And the reason why I'm super excited with Aquaman, besides him being my favorite, Pacific Islander playing the King of Atlantis.
Right choice.
Fucking amazing. Jason Momoa, awesome. Yeah.
I have been a fan of him since he was on Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah,
which is like he's been a sci-fi guy since.
How do you make another white guy seem more appealing and give him a like not necessarily like a niche or like a hook, but you know like what makes him interesting that can make you care about it? You know what I mean? A Pacific Islander king of Atlantis.
It makes sense.
And Nicole Kidman is going to be his mom, and then the guy who played Jango Fett is going to be his dad, the Islander. Yeah, and then Amber Heard. I haven't really seen much of her, but that's going to be Mira. So you know what I mean? And like they just cast the dude.
See, that's my thing. I think so. Marvel does a good job at casting, but I think DCEU has more realistic casting. You know, Ben Affleck. When we think of Batfleck,
okay.
I always want to say that out loud.
Okay.
He seems like a party boy. He's always seemed like a party boy since the very beginning I ever saw him. He seems like he would love to just go and drink and have a good time. So putting him into the Batman character makes sense. He's the Bruce Wayne. Whereas like Christian Bale, he seemed like Batman. He didn't seem like Bruce Wayne. So I think they did a good job casting on that. Gal Gadot, like I said, she's Mediterranean. She's there. She already is that person. She's basically Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Jason Momoa, Pacific Islander. They literally live off the sea. Like you can't tell me that's not a great choice.
Yeah.
You know, I think
I'm bought and sold by that movie. It hasn't even come out yet.
I know. me too. I'm pumped on it. I think The Flash. I think Ezra Miller was a good choice because I like him as an actor.
But he has an uphill battle because he has to fight against Grant Gustin.
Exactly.
So,
and I think, truthfully, in my mind, when it comes to like the super speedsters, I really wish they'd get away from the white guys because in real life, like the fastest man on earth is a Jamaican. Like for me, and that's what I hope.
Kid Flash.
Yeah, Kid Flash. But main character wise, like I wish they'd branch out. But people also have a problem with that. Like they have a problem with Jason Momoa because he's not the blonde-haired Arthur. You know, like.
Yeah.
But so for me, I think they're doing a really good job kind of stepping out of the box while staying within the box, if that makes sense.
Well, they're expanding. They're expanding while still staying true to their values.
Exactly. So I think I'm pumped for Wonder Woman. I think it's gonna be good. I'm nervous. I just don't want them to cut too much like they did with Suicide Squad. Because Suicide Squad, I enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it has its issues, but yeah, I understand what you mean. I enjoyed it just for the sake of seeing new shit on TV.
Exactly.
Or like, you know what I mean, on film.
I mean, I think my biggest issue was Killer Croc. Killer Croc's supposed to be like 8 feet tall. Like,
no, I know.
I know there's a lot of big issues and no one's like focusing on that one, but Killer Croc's supposed to be like this giant, like this. Well,
I think what they did is they went through Brian Azzarello's or whatever. It's a specific version where he has more of a skin disease and something along. But anyways, we'll go to the next thing. This one, moving on. This one is more my thing, and that's why I'm going to take it from you. Is that it's Inhumans, and Ewan Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce it, will play Ramsay Bolton, or who played Ramsay Bolton on the HBO hit drama, been cast as Maximus. The character is described as a charming, clever Inhuman that is devoted to his brother, the King, and his people of Attilan. However, underneath all the charm is Maximus' strong desire to be king himself and wear the crown. So, for those that don't know, Inhumans was on the docket to be the last film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3. So it was going to come after Infinity War. Apparently it didn't happen, so now it's going to become a TV series like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but to kind of be different and unique, they're going to film the first 2 episodes, and then they're going to premiere that first 2 episodes in theaters. But here's where it kind of puts a stick in my craw, is that it's about Black Bolt and the royal family. Mm-hmm. Even though this is his brother, if this is the main character, how they, you know what I mean? They're going to get through that angle of the story's going to be seen through Maximus's eyes. Granted, Black Bolt, his powers, can't speak, but when he does, destroys buildings. Yeah. You know, he's got, for those that don't know, their Inhumans is human, or their experiments is done by the Kree or to the Kree that have just evolved over time. Mm-hmm. And so that's how they become. But I don't know how I feel about it.
I see. This is a weak area for me, because when they first introduced Inhumans as originally the movie, I didn't know anything about them. No, I had to. It was the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. Which back when those came out, I was like, oh, they're probably not going to be that good. And then I think it was at the comic book shop, and one of the guys was like, put me in my place. He's like, no, they're gonna be good. Like, no, yeah, they are, and they were fantastic. I love both those movies, but Inhumans for me is like, I almost want to say it's a stretch, because we just did Doctor Strange. Like, that's a stretch too, because that's way Doctor Strange is. I haven't even seen the movie yet, but I know Doctor Strange better than other.
Well, he's one of the secondary characters that's always been in the background.
Exactly.
And so you're like, you don't maybe necessarily know him, but you know he's the magic guy.
Exactly.
Oh, nice catch.
But that's the thing though that I do love about Marvel, is that they're willing to step outside of the main characters and say, hey, let's try this storyline. Because I did read up on the Inhumans a tiny bit, and it does sound like a very interesting storyline. Yeah,
it's basically X-Men in space. I know that's sacrilegious for some, but it is. Like, it, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about a small niche family that has to deal with their powers. Or like, not necessarily their powers, but they're like, even they, like, it's hard to explain, because it's like their experiments that became like their genome and things like that. It's like they were never necessarily, they're not mutants, but they're
not human, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a really awesome turn. Yeah. You know, I mean, right now we basically have the superhumans who aren't necessarily mutants, and we have, you know, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Iron Man. We have that whole thing. Black Panther coming out. That's going to be an awesome story. And then, what happened?
I don't know. Power
go out? Does it save if?
I don't know.
Never dealt with that before?
Never had that before. That was weird.
We're still recording. There's an echo. Sorry, folks. We just had a minor power outage, I guess. It was weird. Like, most of the lights went off.
Yeah, it's still recording.
And
all right, when we're back.
We've never dealt with it. So is it supposed to be muted?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I'm not the technical guy. I'm the.
All good. Sorry about that, guys.
We had a power outage. I'm the face of the program.
Takes a lot of work to look that good. But anyways, so
I'm excited for Inhumans. I truthfully believe that Marvel is doing a good job, and whichever direction they go, they should keep going with it. So,
and for those that don't know, I highly recommend this book, Charles Soule. Awesome. It's mostly about Medusa and her fighting Black Bolt. Good shit. Highly recommend. If you want a good jumping off point or starting point for it, start with this. It's cheap. It's relatively cheap. $35. You can get on Amazon.
That's not bad, actually.
Highly recommend it, and
you can probably get it used for $20.
It's 16 issues, so there you go. Really good. But anyways, moving along, you can do the first X-Men.
X-Men 3. Okay, so here's my issue with X-Men, since I basically grew up with X-Men.
Yeah, you're more of the X-Men guy than I am.
I love the X-Men. I before I really, really, really started getting into comics, it was X-Men for me. And I always, like, when I was a little kid, I always imagined I was an X-Men. Like, I had superpowers. I was always wondering what my superpower would be. I'm kind of pissed, though, that they're doing X-Men 3 again. Like, it's they need to stop. Like, they need to stop. They need to, after Logan, they need to back off for, like, 5 years. Let people forget, like, stick to the old ones, and then reintroduce it as a brand new area. They won't do it because money.
Yeah, money.
But, like, they're gonna do X-Men 3. It's gonna be set in the 90s, which doesn't make sense because
everyone, first of all, they're aging.
They don't
look like they're 30 years old. You know what I mean?
Like, and if you look at the old X-Men movies, Charles Xavier is really old, and Brian McAvoy, is that his name?
Who?
The new Charles Xavier.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, there it is. I think I know a kid named Brian McAvoy.
Oh, there you go.
He's supposed to age like 40 years in the next decade.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to get really old, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they did a good job with Deadpool. Logan's going to be fantastic. I've been hearing good things about Legion.
I know, I haven't seen it. I heard it's amazing. I
read somewhere that they said it's like the Breaking Bad for X-Men.
From what I heard, it's the dude who did Fargo, not the Fargo movie, but the Fargo TV.
Which is supposed to be a very good series.
He's doing X-Men. He's doing Legion. And they said it's incredibly, like, cerebral and, like, just high quality. So
I mean, I think after Logan, they realistically should, like, keep Legion going so people know that the X-Men aren't totally disappearing. Mm-hmm. But, like, Legion in itself, like, it's supposed to be totally different.
Yeah, it's
universe.
They've said it's may or may not be attached to the Marvel, because the reason why, from what I understand or what I can remember, is that some of the characters they had to switch around.
Yeah,
like Ego was Fox, the planet guy in the Guardians 2.
Yeah,
he was a part of the Fox deal, and then Teenage Negasonic, whatever, Warhead was somewhere in the Marvel camp, or at least legality wise. So they switched.
Yeah.
So they've done it, and 20th Century Fox owns X-Men as a film franchise. They don't own them as TV. So they had to finagle a deal to even make Legion. Yeah. So no one knows if Legion is its own thing and it's mute in the Marvel thing.
And that's my thing with Legion, because Legion, the main character, I forget his name, but
he's just Charles Xavier's son. I know that.
That's the thing. In the comic books, he's not. Legion is supposed to be this guy who his parents had him, and he basically is the most powerful mutant ever. And the only way in the original comic book arc, I can't remember which. I'm terrible at recalling information, so forgive me.
Don't worry, someone will probably say something in the comments.
But so in the original arc, when he first was introduced, Charles Xavier had to send someone back in time to kill his parents. That's how powerful this guy was, because they blew him up. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. blew him up. Like, it was not like a little thing. Like, this guy got killed and came back to life. That's how powerful he was as a human. In this, I know they're making it Charles Xavier's child. Like, that's the more modern one. But the original one, he was, from what I remember reading and, like, looking on it, because I think I started just probing the X-Men universe because I love doing that. Like, there's a guy named Forget-Me-Not who's an X-Men, that Charles Xavier, he's like a really minor character, but Charles Xavier has to have a mental reminder that he is part of the X-Men, because his powers would be forgotten. Like, no one knows him because but that's the thing. That's right. Legion is kind of the same business. He's a smaller character that they don't focus on, because typically in the earlier, like the original stuff, they had to take the easy way out and cop out, go back in time and kill his parents, because there was no way. Like, they made him way too powerful. Mm-hmm. But if it were up to me, I'd say take 5 years off, stay away from this stupid fucking Dark Phoenix storyline again. Like, after reading that, I'm upset, because he did that the first. That's what X3 was. X3 was Dark Phoenix, because Jean Grey, who is also the Phoenix, basically becomes evil. And they did it it wasn't the crappiest job. Like, if they would have left it at that, I would have been like, okay, never touch it again. We'll pretend it was like a decent.
Well,
movie.
That's what the redoing, like the Days of Future Past, or you know what I mean, like they kind of like reset the continuity. They kind of just.
But even then, like Days of Future Past was good, and I really enjoyed it. It was just like they should have stopped. Like they should have stopped at Days of Future Past. Called a day. Like that was 6 years ago? No, that was 4 years ago.
Something like that.
They should have done Logan no matter what, because Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart deserve this movie. Like, this movie is them. Like, this is... Like, I'm so excited. Like, I don't go see premieres very often. I think last premiere I saw was Return of the King, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you mean like going to like...
Like, at a movie theater the night of it comes out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember standing in line with my aunt and my sisters going to see Return of the King.
Yeah.
That was the last time I went to see a premiere. This may be the
next one
I do, because I mean Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Like that is there's no argument for it.
Right.
But realistically, in my mind, they should stop. They should stop after Logan, take a break, do another Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds does a fantastic job.
Which segues into the next news bit. X-Force news is the X-Force movie may have found its own new director, with Joe Carnahan, best known for his work on The Grey, and he is potentially tapped to direct the X-Force movie with Ryan Reynolds as executive producer and possibly writer or co-writer. Carnahan's resume extends to A-Team, Blacklist, and Smoking Aces, and he just dropped out of Bad Boys 3. What do you think about that as X-Force? Because you got Domino, you got Colossus, you got Psylocke, you got Cable. By the way, Pierce Brosnan, maybe Cable. Interesting. I know.
That could be a very good choice. So I like that. One, I love Domino. I think that's a fantastic character. They did some movie where they tried putting Domino in as like an assassin a while back. I don't know if that was part of Marvel.
I think it was just Domino.
Okay.
I think it was its own thing with Keira Knightley.
No. It was Smoking Aces. One of the characters' names they called Domino.
No,
or
I
something
think it was its own thing.
Okay, so that makes me happy that that's not. I mean, I'm pretty sure Alicia Keys played that character though, so I'm like,
I have no idea.
She's hot. So
that's all you.
But I'm pumped for it. I think that'd be a fantastic movie. Because it'd be raw. Like it would just be
guaranteed. It'd probably be rated R. Yeah.
Oh, it'd have to be. If Deadpool's in it, definitely, and then Cable. Oh yeah.
Well, because
my only, and this goes back to Marvel versus Fox. The downside. I really want to see Deadpool and Spider-Man together.
Well, yeah, it has its own comic. It has Spider-Man Deadpool.
That's like X-Force, yes, but I'm still waiting for the day that they totally give it all up to Marvel and just say, "Hey, take it away, make us billions."
Right.
Because as soon as X-Force comes out, that's a whole nother branch of X-Men.
Well, I think X-Force might be Fox's version of Suicide Squad, because it depends on how Logan does. Because Deadpool is gonna obviously did amazing. The second one's gonna kill, and then if Logan does well, that'll give them enough information. Okay, we just did 3 back-to-back X-Men movies types, so let's do X-Force, which will probably be its version of Suicide Squad. It's the group of mutants that do the dirty, nasty, or the more militaristic killing assassins that the X-Men can't do.
Oh yeah.
So
that's and that's the thing. Logan's R, correct?
Say again?
Logan's rated R, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Deadpool 2 is definitely rated R. So in my mind, they'll have the X-Men movies that are the fun,
the adult ones.
But I think realistically, if Logan does well and then Deadpool 2 comes out and it's going well and they make a ton of money off of another rated R, I think their rated R side they'll keep going with.
Yeah.
They'll keep going with hard, because there is a lot of rated R stuff in the X-Men universe.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of story arcs that they could do through X-Force and stuff. One would be Colossus gets the Juggernaut helmet.
Yeah, that
would be so fucking awesome to see on TV or on the big screen.
Yeah, I think that was in Fear itself, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
that's like the convolute, but yeah, they can just they can find a way to make sure that figures out how to happen.
Yeah,
because they have both of them.
Well, we'll see. It'll be. I think Ryan Reynolds has got a good head behind him for the Deadpool. I mean, he is Deadpool. Like he is Logan to Wolverine as Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool. You know?
Yeah, and I think that basically for the next few years or however long they have these movies, it's going to be Kinberg, this guy that's writing it and redoing it all, this writer, and Reynolds. Those two are going to be the X-Men guys.
I'd be happy with it. I would definitely be happy with it.
All right, so moving on to a bit of sad news, but news nonetheless. Deadline reports that Trevor Habstad, a stuntman and stunt coordinator on X-Men Days of Futures Past and Doctor Strange, died suddenly after a battle with cancer. He was 27. Ugh. With more than 50 film credits to his name, Trevor Habstad did stunts for Star Trek Into Darkness, Iron Man 3, The Dark Knight Rises, and was a stunt coordinator on the films including American Sniper, Ant-Man, Barely Lethal, and X-Men Apocalypse. His last film being last year's Why Him? I wanted just to say that because that sucks. He's young and he had cancer. Fuck cancer.
And obviously he's doing a good job because those are.
Yeah, you are literally on top of the world as a stunt guy. If you know you're a stunt guy and that's your shtick and that's your deal.
He's 20. He's young too.
And the fact is, you just did X-Men and Doctor Strange, and you're killing it.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, all the best to this family. So, but besides that, we'll move on to trailers. Let's take it.
King Arthur. I don't know. I don't think I've actually seen the trailer for this one yet.
I don't know how I feel, to be completely honest.
I mean, they'll always do the King Arthur shtick. They'll always try and remake it because they just did one I feel like a couple years ago. I feel like they do something like this.
I think that was Robin Hood.
Or it's like Robin Hood, King Arthur, and there's a couple others that they just keep doing, like Brothers Grimm stuff. They keep doing as well. Just from reading the actors they have, it could be good.
Right.
But at the same time, it's do we really want another King Arthur movie? Just do we really want another Robin Hood movie?
Well, they are making another Robin Hood movie. I know. But here's the thing. It's got Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law, and Guy Ritchie. And Guy Ritchie did the Sherlock Holmes movies. So it's up, you know what I mean? I'm optimistic, but at the same time, it's what is this basically just going to be another version of Sherlock Holmes? You know what I mean? With Charlie Hunnam? Because I saw the trailer, at least the first one, the one that's from Comic-Con last year, and it sounded and looked like a Sherlock Holmes kind of knockoff. And I'm just
it has potential, but I'm not holding my breath on it. It's another King Arthur shtick. It's another Robin Hood shtick. It's just it's that one storyline that just keeps going on and on and on and keeps revolving around Hollywood. We'll see. Aliens Covenant though, I love Aliens. I'm sorry, it is just Alien versus Predator, the original Aliens, Predator. That whole I don't even know if it's a universe,
alien monsters. Yeah,
it's just fun. It's just a fun universe, and it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna be a fun movie where you see a bunch of people die and try and kill aliens.
Funny enough, I have never seen Alien or Aliens or Alien 3 till last year. And the reason why is because I was doing, the Guillermo del Toro, watch a film a day. And so me and Mariko just one day were I've never seen Alien. She's like, never have I. I'm like, let's watch it. And I'm oh, next thing you know, we're fucking just binge watching the whole series. And I'm like, holy shit,
they're good.
Dude.
They're really good. And Alien versus Predator wasn't great. I'm pretty sure it was just let's just have a toe-to-toe boxing match between these two.
Well, yeah, because they also did Freddy versus Jason at that time. Yeah. I think it was a year or two gap, and it's let's try this again with the alien.
Which
monsters.
I enjoyed it. I shit you not. I will enjoy always, but they're in an interesting point right now because they did Prometheus, which is supposed to be the origin story for Alien.
No one cared.
No one cared. It was good, but it wasn't Aliens.
Yeah. And they were doing Predators. They're making a new one with Shane Black, the guy who did The Nice Guys or the other guys or whatever. No, Nice Guys. The guy who just with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. He's doing it.
Interesting.
And it has off the top of my head, Olivia Munn, Key from Keegan and Peele, and some other guys. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
But it's gonna be rated R, a hard R.
Good. See, here's my thing about Aliens and Predator. those are the two movies that like you have to have it scary and gory. Like it has to be like the original ones when they came out, they were scary. Now to us, they're kind of like, oh, it's scary.
Well, yeah, it's 80s. It looks kind of dated, but
exactly, and that's how the original Predators were. I mean, the original Predators, every single Predator's out there. Like I remember when I was a kid and I was watching it, I was like, now I'm like, okay, like really, like this isn't terrifying. But if they do it right, they could eventually build it back into Aliens versus Predator the right way. Like the true, like a cinematic masterpiece where you have these two awesome ideas. Aliens, which basically are they basically take over wherever they are. They just repopulate.
Like a plague, right?
Yeah. And then Predators being the anti-heroes who they don't like everybody.
They're exterminators. Yeah.
Exactly. So the original's AVP was good. I enjoyed it. It was just brutal and fun and
it's something we never seen before. Besides,
but you could potentially get to an AVP that is a trilogy, almost, where it's like we gotta help the Predators go to the center of the universe and kill like a massive queen. I love it. I'm pumped.
Good.
I'm pumped. And Ridley Scott's fantastic.
Yeah, he usually does great work.
Prometheus was okay.
All right.
What are we on to now?
We're on to from movies to Blu-ray news. So with that, I think this just got released yesterday or today because we're filming this on Thursday. And so if there's anything happens Thursday night or Friday, we'll get it next week or whenever we record next. But Disney's Rogue One is going to be released on April 4th and DVD on March 24th. So Blu-ray, DVD, April 4th, digital on demand, March 24th. Did you see this?
I did not see Rogue One.
It's good.
I'm excited.
I know.
I heard fantastic reviews about it.
The best compliment I've heard, and I agree with it. It makes the original trilogy better. I will definitely. I'll leave it at that.
I'll have to pick it up once it comes out.
And then
I'm late.
And then the retail exclusives, if you get at Target, it comes with a 5-disc set, includes collectible packaging, interchangeable character covers, and exclusive bonus content. Blu-ray 3D, 2 Blu-rays plus DVD exclusive content, 2 additional bonus features plus digital HD, and collectible packaging. If you get at Best Buy, it's a 4-disc set with exclusive steelbook packaging. And if you get at Walmart, it's an exclusive 3-disc with exclusive K2SO packaging and 2 Galactic Connection trading discs. Also, on Blu-ray, or at least that was Blu-ray news, Blu-ray released tomorrow, or not tomorrow, the 20th, that's next Tuesday, Doctor Strange, which looks awesome. I mean, not looks awesome. The packaging, and they do a steel case. Ooh. And the way they do the steel case is there's a book in the movie, and the steel case looks like the book.
Oh, okay.
And then Moonlight and Allied. Moonlight is the Oscar movie that's going up for this weekend, and Allied is the World War II movie with Brad Pitt that no one cared about.
Yeah, Allied was like the...
It came, it went, I saw it.
I wasn't interested. Moonlight, I've seen the trailers for it. I would like to see it, but as we can probably tell from this podcast, I have not seen movies in a while.
But it looks like a good Amazon movie, like a movie you can
definitely
look on Amazon or Netflix. Like I want to watch a good movie, and I think that.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. I mean, I know about Doctor Strange. I dropped the ball on it. It's true, I did. I really did. But I already know about Doctor Strange more than most average moviegoers, so I already know that they chose the right actor.
It's
like Benedict Cumberbatch. That's Doctor Strange. Like he's
right.
I would choose. Like that. I don't think there's any other actor who looks actually like Doctor Strange in the comics.
The best way is it reminds me of Ant-Man in the sense that it's its own thing right out the gate. And because Ant-Man and what other ones it like is to me it's not one of the main characters, but it's such its own thing that it makes it unique. And so like Ant-Man, these Doctor Strange and Ant-Man are my two favorite, besides like the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like the main one, like the more single movies, like even better than Cap, just because it's so different. Like you're getting with Cap. You're getting the military, you're getting the shield, you're getting
Ant-Man was funny, and it was
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it was Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd did an amazing job on that, and it was done right to where it could be its own standalone. Yeah, series. Absolutely. Even if Ant-Man never met the Avengers, which I'm glad he did, because the Civil War is good, but my favorite part was
Ant-Man.
Like,
spoiler,
Giant Man.
Everyone should know by now. Let's be real.
If you don't know, that was like 2 years ago, or a year ago. But yeah, Doctor Strange is the same thing because I remember actually, I did see the end credit scene. It popped up on like YouTube or something, and I was like, "Cool." They're doing the same thing they did with Ant-Man, where it was like a brief snippet.
Well, from what they may have said or may have leaked, is that Doctor Strange may be in Thor Ragnarok. Because Thor goes to a planet or gets exiled to a planet, has to fight Hulk because Hulk's on that planet somehow. And then...
Which...
But here's... Hulk, Thor, Doctor Strange.
It's solid.
Kind of a random ass group.
It's solid, though. Like, it's random as hell, but it's a solid trio because Thor and Hulk have to go toe-to-toe. Yeah. They have to. That's there. Doctor Strange gets thrown into the mix, and Doctor Strange is no one to be messed with when it really comes down to it because he's got all the magic. He may not have the strength like they have, but like when it comes down to it, you got some magic power. Like he's got firepower. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. So I think Thor Ragnarok's gonna be sweet. Just on that topic, like
it's like a 1980s space buddy cop movie.
Which, but like how Hulk gets to this other planet, I really hope they explain that because there's a ton. I mean, it's Planet Hulk,
World War Hulk,
World War Hulk, all that stuff. Like, they did. There's a while back they did a really good animated version of it, and I really enjoyed it. And I think
same with Doctor Strange. They did a good one, Doctor Strange.
I really think that's going to be a fantastic movie. That's going to be the next like big one because the first two Thors were good, but like
no one really remembers them.
Yeah, they're not like super memorable. Thor Ragnarok though, because for those who do not know what Ragnarok is, in Norse mythology, that is the end of the world. So fun fact, I don't know if you knew that even. Of course you know that. Yeah, so for those who are...
And mind you, he's Scottish.
Yes, I am Scottish.
So he's got family history in that area.
Yeah, I got the whole Gaelic stuff, the whole Norse stuff. When I was a kid, I used to love looking into that stuff. But so Ragnarok is the Norse version of the end of the world. So in Dark World, it kind of gets started like it's, there's I think it was the when he was in the pool, the drinking pool or whatever, and gatekeeper guy. Yeah, thank you. I always forget his name. He says, "Oh, you're gonna destroy us," all this stuff. That is actually a glimpse into what is happening at Ragnarok. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be really awesome because that's what I love about a lot of these movies is that they bring in actual like lore to it, So we'll see how that one does. But on to the top 10s of this week. We have 2 lists this week. It's wonderful.
Go.
Top 10 films purchased for 2019-17 according to Home Media Magazine powered by Nielsen. Number 1, Trolls.
Which is interesting because the reason why I wanted to do this is because these are people actually buying stuff. You actually get to see what people are enjoying. You know what I mean? And you're like, Trolls?
Trolls. So I've seen part of Trolls. It's good. I know you saw the whole thing.
I saw it with my cousins. It was good for a kid's movie. It really, I didn't mind it.
For the young people who watch this who don't really know what Trolls really is, Trolls are those little toys with the little hair and all that stuff that our parents more likely played with than we would have played with. Yeah. So the parents took their kids to go see it, or grandkids, or whoever to go see it, and then the kids like it now. So we're probably gonna see like
it'll probably
Trolls
be some
2,
type of a series. Yeah.
Troll 3, just like what happened with Shrek and Ice Age. Arrival, which I heard was really good. I never saw it, but
I highly recommend it. It'll blow your head, like just completely blow your mind.
Okay.
Like, I won't give anything away, but when you're in the process of seeing it, you literally like, what? Oh. Okay. You know what I mean? You're just like, it literally just takes you everywhere.
Got it. Boo, a Medea Halloween.
Which is interesting because Halloween.
That was like so long
Valentine's Day.
But Tyler Perry knows what he's doing, so. That is Tyler Perry, right? Okay, so I was like, wait, am I wrong on that? Jack Reacher, Never Go Back.
Pass.
Yeah,
I'll just take a nice pass until The Mummy.
The Secret Life of Pets.
It's okay.
It's a kids movie. I mean, you gotta realize probably a lot of these are either gonna be kids movies or they're going to be adult movies because action fight, not adult movies. That sounds dirty.
I was about to say, is there any other like? There's kids and then there's adults.
There's no, but like action movies and stuff for the
genre.
The genres. Edge of 17. I've never heard of it.
Funny as shit, dude.
Really? Is that that's with
Woody Harrelson in the
yes,
dude. Find a way to see it.
It's fun. It's good.
It's dirty. It's dirty as shit.
But isn't it like a high school?
Yeah, girl
setting?
has a filthy mouth and it's awesome. She talks like us.
Shit. Okay. Edge of 17.
But like, put it this way. She's like talking about sucking dicks and just like just go put up your ass, girl. Like you're like what? Like not what I was expecting.
I yes. Personal favorite, John Wick, because the second one's coming out or came out. Yep. Sorry, I'm behind on the times.
This is why I invited him because I'm trying to get him updated because he's so busy doing real life work and coaching kids that I'm like, hey man, you're gonna come. We're gonna teach you some.
But that is actually a movie John Wick 2 is something I will go see because I love the first one so much. I mean, it's literally a guy going on a rampage because they killed his dog. That's the story. That's it. Like it's best story in the world. So John Wick makes sense. That's Pinocchio.
The Blu-ray, like the Blu-ray, because Disney does the vault stuff.
Yeah, they open the vault.
Yeah, Priceless. Never heard of that before. I've never heard of Priceless.
What?
I've never heard of it. Don't know. Didn't look it up either. I was like,
it doesn't sound like anything fantastic.
But Justice League Dark. Yes. I saw this.
Was it good? Man.
No, but here's the thing. It's a good cartoon movie, right?
Yeah.
I just wish it was more. In the sense of like,
okay,
Batman doesn't need to be there. He really doesn't. He is solely there to be the audience, like way in. He doesn't really do much. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's Batman, obviously, but I just wish there was more to do with the characters of Justice League Dark, in a sense of like. But you see basically everything with Batman's eyes, and everyone's just kind of going about around him. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's really well done. It's good. But
good animation.
It's DC's animation's up here, but it's just like when I was done, I'm like, meh.
I mean, in Justice League Dark, I mean they got Swamp Thing, which there's a lot of characters in Justice League Dark that like people don't know about.
Yeah.
And I
want Ron Perlman as Swamp Thing. Because I remember.
What is his name? Boston.
Deadman.
Mm-hmm. Why did I say Boston? It's Boston.
No, it's like the Boston Acrobat or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. He's fantastic because he's basically a superhero ghost. Like, he's dead. Like, it doesn't make sense, but his story is well done. There's a bunch of other characters like Constantine. I swear, like, if they don't bring Constantine back at some point in
they will.
DCEU. Yeah. And I really hope it's Keanu Reeves again.
I didn't mind it, but then again, I didn't know the context of it. It was just exactly. It was like, this is another sick ass movie with Keanu Reeves. Like, I'm down. I don't care.
But like, no one knew that's a DC character. Yeah. Like, it's back then it was, but
yeah. So
all right, second top 10 list.
All right,
top 10. I got. Okay. You want to do it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, it's your podcast, man. I'm just.
Hey, we're doing it together.
I'm just here to be pretty. Top 10 home media magazine rental chart for the week ended 2/19/17. Arrival. We already talked about that one. The Girl on the Train.
I heard it was a shitty version of Gone Girl. Like a really bad version of it. Don't know. Can't speculate.
Girls on Train just doesn't sound like a movie I want to see. It's not like, I don't know. The Accountant.
Awesome.
I heard it was awesome.
It's Ben Affleck's version of Jason Bourne. And he's got like social tics because I think he has Asperger's.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
Okay. Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Pass.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was okay. I'm pretty sure it was just one of like Gal Gadot's and Zach Galifianakis.
She's not even the main guy or main girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah, it's kind of like. It was one of those money-making movies.
That didn't make
Jack Reacher, like...
It's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise needs to stop. He needs to retire.
Well, they got The Mummy now. That looks interesting.
I'm pissed about that because I love Frasier. Frasier. We're not related.
But anyways, Boo, Medea, Halloween.
Secret Life of Pets.
Inferno. I don't remember that one.
Inferno.
Oh, that's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, the Dan Brown trilogy.
Oh, that's right. I didn't. After Angels and Demons, I kind of just
didn't hook me.
Deepwater Horizon.
Good.
So I actually have an issue with Deepwater Horizon. That only happened like less than a decade ago, and then the Patriot Day, same thing. That only happened a couple years ago. Why, like, it pisses me off that Hollywood is automatically just like, oh, this thing happened, let's wait a couple years and we'll make a movie about it. It's like, dude, like, the families are still probably mourning from it. Like,
fair enough point, but I'll counter it. I saw both of them, and Peter Berg did it, and the guy who did Lone Survivor, and Mark Wahlberg produced both. And the thing is, he wanted to do it, and they are gritty, like docu-series types. Okay. So they follow the characters around. It's not necessarily like a one specific.
Okay.
So you're following all the families, even like the bombers. You follow their family and why they did it, and so it's like you kind of get an angle of everything that happened.
So it's good storytelling.
Oh, it's great storytelling.
Good storytelling.
I don't know. I think it's like how I said about Moonlight. It's like one of those movies. Highly recommend, like on a Saturday or Friday night. Nothing to do. You want a good movie? I highly recommend that.
Okay. I have an issue with using disasters that happened like a year ago. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
And then number 10, moving on because no one wants to hear me rant about what I hate about Hollywood. 10, Ouija: Origin of Evil.
It was good.
Was it good?
It was.
It was a good scary movie.
First one I didn't see, and it got like a 5% Rotten Tomatoes. And this one, Marika wanted to see it because she loves horror, and I'm like, don't care. But I was like, okay, there's nothing else out. It's pretty decent.
Happy wife, happy life. Box office.
All right, box office. Lego Batman number 1 at 34 million. Number 2, 50 Shades Darker at 21 million. Number 3, The Great Wall at 18.1. For number 4, John Wick Chapter 2 at 16. And Fist Fight at number 12. 6, Hidden Figures at 7. Split at 7 with 7. 8, A Dog's Purpose at 5. And number 9, La La Land at number 4. And number 10, A Cure for Wellness.
You know, I'm not surprised Lego Batman is at the top. Just because.
Batman, Legos, kids.
Exactly. 50 Shades Darker, like,
it got an 8%. And it's a fantasy movie of sorts.
You know what it is? And it blows my mind that like a lot of female people went and saw it.
Maybe men too. You know,
I mean,
you don't know the audience. The demographic could range.
It's a story about. Okay, I'm not gonna get into the story of it. But like, it's about like, it just blows my mind. Like if there's a guy movie for it, like the same thing.
There's an audience.
Weird. The Great Wall. So there was so much backlash with the Great Wall because it was another white guy in Asia trying to save the world
before anyone ever saw it.
Exactly.
And it's a European in Asia.
Yeah.
It's not a white guy taking over an Asian role. It's literally was made for 2 European characters.
Exactly. So like, I'm not surprised it did well.
It was made for like 100 million though, or like more. So it did really bad. But
I thought it was.
No, it did really well in China. Go figure. But because the director's Chinese, because everyone asked why does Matt Damon want to do this? He's a dramatic actor, you know what I mean? And he said he wanted to do it because of the director.
Yeah.
And so the only thing I have a problem with is if he's European, how come he didn't have some type of European accent? You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So
John Wick Chapter 2.
Awesome. Gonna be a third one.
Oh, thank God.
And they said if that one does well, which it did, they may do a prequel as a TV show.
Oh, so see, here's my thing about John Wick. It's the role Keanu Reeves was born to play, like truly born to play. Because most people think he's a terrible actor. He's awful, all this stuff. I love him. He's my all-time favorite actor.
Oh yeah, he's good. Great guy.
But he doesn't have to overact. He doesn't have to do anything funky. He just has to shoot a gun and kill people. And if you look up, there's a video of Keanu Reeves at a shooting range.
Oh yeah,
he's actually good with a gun.
The training's unreal.
Yeah, it's like I would not actually want to run into Keanu Reeves in a fight. So I'm glad he's doing well. I'm glad he's back from being just the joke of Hollywood.
Yeah, the first time there wasn't good.
Yeah.
Fist Fight, I had no desire to see that.
It was Charlie Day and Ice Cube.
But it just didn't look funny.
No. And Charlie Day's a funny guy. Like
I like him in Pacific Rim.
I just, like, being the kid of, both my parents were teachers. Like, there's no way in hell 2 teachers would actually fist fight each other. Like, it's just, no, wrong.
Hidden Figures didn't see. Split, I saw.
Hidden Figures actually was supposed to be really good.
Yeah, it's an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Split, I liked it until the very end.
That's an M. Night
Shyamalan.
Okay, what was the twist on that? Because, like...
It's still out, so I won't say.
You can tell me afterwards.
Dog's Purpose, don't care to see that. La La Land, one of my favorite movies.
I heard that was a fantastic movie.
It hit every single heartstring. And it just, you're like...
Good cast, good. I mean, it sounds good. I just, like we've said 1,000 times so far, I'm not with the times.
We'll get you there, buddy.
The times. A Cure for Wellness, what is that one?
That was the one where the guy went up to, he took his boss to, basically, he had like a panic attack or some type of meltdown and went to a mental facility. And then the mental facility is not what it seems. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. Did you see it or did you just know?
I didn't see it.
Got it.
And with that, the movie's coming out for this week, Collide, and I haven't seen any trailers, haven't seen any type of advertising.
I saw one trailer. It was like they were on a freeway and the Nicholas Holt's character was driving and crashing into cars and stuff. It was like really brief and short and didn't give a lot. That's why I'm like, it might be good, it might be bad.
Is that why they call it Collide? Next is Rock Dog. It's about a dog that goes to the city to become a rock star. It's got 57%. It's only got 4 out of 7 positive Rotten Tomatoes. Kids animated.
Kids movie. It'll make money no matter what. So
well, I guarantee you, it was made for cheap probably, and then it'll make money. Anyways, but the movie that's coming out this week is Get Out. This is the one from Jordan Peele of Key and Peele. It's got 100% rotten on the Rotten Tomatoes score, 71 out of 71 positive. Now that Chris and his girlfriend, not me, Rose, have reached the meet the parents milestone of dating, she invites him for the weekend getaway upstate with Missy and Dean. At first, Chris reads the family's overly accommodating behavior as nervous attempts to deal with the daughter's interracial relationship. But as the weekend progresses, a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries lead him to the truth that he could never imagined. This looks fucking awesome.
It does. It looks really good. I remember watching the trailer a while ago, being like, "Whoa! Like, when is this coming out?" I didn't know Jordan Peele is the director or the.
I just listened to a podcast with him this morning, like literally this morning. Dude is a cinephile. He is a huge horror buff cine guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's kind of like Chris because he was on Chris Hardwick's podcast, and he literally like lives, dies, breathes everything cinephile, especially horror.
Awesome.
And it took him like years to cultivate this. Like he said, this was like the reason why they left Key and Peele, like at its high point, was so he could do things like this. And they only made it for $4.5 million. $4.5 million. It's projected to hit 20 to 30. That's a smash hit. Smash. Because even if they doubled, let's say they doubled it for advertising. Let's say they spent $10 million on this total. $10 million total, and it's projected to get 20 to 30 on the first weekend. Let alone DVD sales or rents in the future, especially during Halloween time.
I like it. I think
smash hit
because he's a funny guy, and I do enjoy his humor. Some of the skits from Key and Peele aren't the greatest, but he is a very funny guy, and a lot of their stuff is well written. So I'm hoping this doesn't flop. Like I'm really hoping it doesn't flop, and it's not just hyped up.
Even first, as I'm saying, even if they only made 10 million, if they made it for 10 million and it sells 20 first week, it's a hit.
Yeah,
it's a hit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But from the trailer that I watched, it looks scary. Like it's. I think you mentioned something that it's his idea of the Stepford Wives. You know, which for those who don't know what that is, basically the Stepford Wives, men like brainwash their wives. Oh, that was sexist. Their women. They brainwash their women into being the perfect wife. You know, the suburban wife, and it's like.
Aren't they like robots too at some point?
Yeah,
or like
I saw
the remake.
Yeah, the remake they turn into robots or some
that's
shit.
The only context.
The original one is just brainwashing. So this one seemed it. Since you mentioned that, like I think in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that sounds what it's gonna be. But instead of wives, it's gonna be with a white community and African Americans.
So I think because from what I heard, that's based on gender politics, and this is based on race. It's race politics.
It's gonna be. I don't see how it can't be good, especially with everything in our day and age being there's a lot of racial tension in certain areas of the country. So I think a lot of people are going to go see this just to see like what truthfully could be a dark side of America in the racial rhetoric. But I mean, I might actually go see that in theaters too. There's a lot that I want to see.
Best deal, AMC before noon, $6. Wow. That's why I'm able to see all the movies.
You know, some of us have day jobs, Chris.
I know. Well, Sunday morning breakfast. I get food and I go to the movies.
That's true.
So with that, I think that is it. Yeah, all the stories have been told. I hope you enjoyed that. There was a first run through. Hopefully we'll have more people on the show if Jake's too busy being a real human being and having a life, unlike me.
What?
We'll get some other people in. If not, hopefully Jake can come back. Tuesdays, we're going to try and do film commentary where me and a buddy or me and Jake or someone sit down, watch one of our favorite movies and bullshit like we are the actual directors, even though we're not. So Tuesdays, hopefully do a film commentary of some sort. Thursdays, we'll record on Thursdays, post by Friday. That'll be around that give and take type of schedule. So with that, I've been Chris, and this has been
Jake Frazier. You can follow me on Instagram at CoachFrazier11. You know, yeah.
There you go. You can follow me at CYG47 on all the other social media platforms. With that, we are done. Go out into the world. Oh,
crush your goals.
There you go. All right, bye.